So do you have any questions on the functional programming? Okay, fine. So we will see few more about the arrays.
Sir, please share your screen.
Yeah, day 33. You see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now we have seen related to arrays all these things. Just a minute. And we also have seen the functional programming. We also have seen what? Functional programming. So we will create an array. Just a minute. JavaScript. Let me go through the functional programming. JavaScript. Let me see. Functional programming. Okay. First class functions and higher order functions. First class functions and higher order functions. So when you talk about the functional programming, so these two things are important. There are few more concepts also. Let's not talk about that immediately. Okay. Hello?
Yes, sir.
So we have seen slice splice method, correct?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Now what we need to do, there are certain methods on arrays. When you go to the arrays page, and we can say array operations. Array operations. Now what are the array operations? Let's see in the code first. So day 32, day 30, where is day 33?
Yes. Day 33.
Created or not?
No, sir. Day 32 is completed. Day 33 is today.
Okay, day 33. So here we can say ARR loops. Okay, array 01, array 02, array -02.js. So this is my array const ARR is equals to, here I can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now what I wanted to do, I want to iterate over this array. So I can write for loop for
Yes.
let I is equals to 0, I is less than, now see length of the array. If you remember, we have seen
Yes.
ARR dot length
Length.
I plus plus, and here we can say console dot log ARR of I. So printing the array element. So this is the one way for A of ARR. Console dot log A. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Now let us run the project and see what happens. CD day 33 and node ARR.02. Can you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? This is for
Yes.
from this loop,
Yes.
and after that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is from this loop. So this is how you will iterate over the array. Well, here you can get the index, but here you will not get the index. direct this element you will get. But here you may print the index also. So here I can say index and $I comma value dollar this. Now here you can see the output. Can you see index 0, element is 1, index. So here we can say element. Can you see index 0, element 1, yes. Index 1, element 2. Correct. And this is the output from second for loop. So this will give you index. This will give you index. And this will not give you index. Similarly, if you write a for loop, you can write a while loop also. If you can write a while loop, you can write do while loop also. Iterate over this array by means of do while loop. Iterate over this array by means of while loop. That is also possible, right? Now next part over here, what I want to do, I want to create a square. I want to make square of each element. 1 into 1, 1. Okay, I'll go to this point little bit later on. But now see, this is a separate tool you have. For is a separate tool you have, right? A separate tool is iterating over an array. Separate tool, that is the for. But array itself is having few methods. See, for each. Can you see for each? By means of this loop also, you can iterate. Now see, for each accepts the function. That's why we have studied the functional programming. For each is going to call this function for each element. For this function would be getting called. For this function would be getting called. Right? Callback function. And it is having two parameters. First is element and second one is index. Console.log, and here you can say index $ind element $el. Can you see? So this and all three things are same. Yes. If I run the code, can you see index 0 element 1, the way you are getting output here, in the same fashion you are getting output here. arr.forEach function ind and like this. Now you might have understood that, okay, if we can write a function, can we write arrow function over here? If you can write a function, which means that you can write an arrow function also, yes. Right?
Yes.
arr.forEach and you will pass arrow function.
Yes.
Arrow function, and arrow function is having two parameters, el and ind, index, and same console.log you can write over here. So meaning of these four for loops is same. There is no difference, but there is a difference in the mechanism. So here external utility you are using. This for loop is too mechanical, and this says that I am an array and I have capability of iterating on each element. That is nothing but what? For each. That is nothing but what? For each. Any question?
No, sir.
For each. For each. So functional programming, function can be passed as parameters to the another function. Functions can be passed as parameters to another function. Similarly, function can be passed as parameter to other function. So for each is a function. To that function we have passed another function. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So this is nothing but what? A for each. Now what I want to check, or I want to create a new array. So I want to write a code for creating new array which creates the square of each element. 4, 9, 16
25.
and 36. So can you write a code to create array of the elements? Sorry, create an array. So this would be the input array. So your function would be like this: const make square.
Into I.
So input would be an array, this array AR, and your output would be another array, a square of this thing. So what is the input? Any array. And what is the output? Output is also array,
Square.
but square of each element.
Yes.
So make square 1 we can say. And how do you do that? Remember that this is an array. So let's write it. Return, this is array. So you can write this for loop. And here you can say AR dot length. And here we can create const squared array, SQRDAR, squared array. And here what we will do, a squared array dot push. If you remember, we have a method dot push, and push what? Element inside this array, AR of I into AR of I. And from here we can return SQ squared array. Did you get this? Or you didn't get this?
Yes, sir. I got this.
Okay. Console.log. Here we can say make square 1. And here we can pass our ARR, this ARR. Right?
Yes.
And you can expect the output like this.
Yes.
Now let's run it. Can you see 149, 16, 25, 36? Okay, now you might have understood that if this for loop is same,
Yes.
if all these for loops are same, so instead of this for loop, you can use any of the for loop over here, right? You can, for iteration, you can use any of the for loop. I'll comment this, and then what I will do, I will copy this. But remember that over here, the loop on which, so what is the, on which loop you are iterating? On this AR you are iterating. Let I is equals to 0, I is less than AR dot length, this loop's length, right? And I plus plus. So here you can say square dot push. So here what you are doing, AR, which is nothing but this array,
Yes.
inside on this array, please iterate. So index is optional. You write the index or you don't write the index, one and same. It is optional, but if you don't write it, you cannot use it over here, right? So I'm doing over here. Now if you can say squared array
Squared array.
dot push EL into EL. See how, so here you need to write lot of things. You need to write initializer, you need to write condition, then steps, then you need to worry about I over here, you need to worry about I over here. So here there is no index. correct? So for each will iterate. So this function, remember that this is a function, don't forget that. So this for loop is one and same. This is the function. Hello, right?
Yes. Yes.
And this is also function. So this function would be getting called, for each element, and for each element you are pushing it, and you will get same output. You will get same output 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36. Correct? So this array you created on your own manually. Remember that you can use any of the for loop written over here. All are same. And we have seen 2 loops. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So this is about for each. Now const make square, let's write another function make square 2 which accepts array as a parameter. Well, these brackets are also optional. These brackets are also optional. You can write something like this. This and this is same. These brackets are just optional. So what we need to do now, see, there is a one more loop there is a one more function. Can you see this is an array? Here we can say ar dot map. Ar dot what? Map. Map each element to the new element, and it will return an array. Return type of this is a array. See here we are creating array separately, and into that we are pushing it.
Yes.
So in map function you don't need to do that as well. So here you can write a function element. Element means what? Each element.
Yes.
Each array element. This function is going to be called for each array element. ar.map function el, and here you can say return el into el. You don't need to do anything. So this you at least make a squared push. You don't need to do anything. So here we can say make square 2, and I'll comment this.
AR.
And here you can see make square 2 is not a function.
Sir, there is a double R.
square.
Return. In return.
What's that? make
A double R or AR.
make square square.
Yes.
Can you see? You are getting undefined. Okay, we'll see that. Just a minute. Whenever you create an array, and if you want to work on the different array operations, and if you want to work on okay, we didn't return the array, that's why it is what?
Yes. Undefined.
Undefined. sq squared array. Can you see same array you are getting?
Yes.
Now by now you might have understood that if this can be written as a function, this can be written as a lambda arrow function also.
Yes.
So let me comment this out. An arrow is very easy. So this is the element arrow el into el. That's it. So look at this loop. Look at this loop, or look at this loop, and look at this loop. So here you are not even pushing it.
Yes.
Map this element to the new element. Map this element. So this function would be getting called many times. This function would be getting called many times. And this element EL, this element EL, this element EL would be getting called multiple times. So this function, sorry, not element, this function would be getting called, this function would be getting called many times. For each and every element, this function would be getting called, and simply you are converting EL into EL. What you are doing? EL into EL means square. So map this EL to this kind of new element. Map this element to this kind of new element. So here you write a transformation. How EL would be getting transformed. So you can call this as a transformation function. So this transformation function will convert this EL into this. That's why it is called as map. Map this element to this. Correct?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Understand?
Yes, sir.
This is the map function. We have seen forEach function. We have seen map function. Now there is one more function. See now. What I want to do, I want to find out even elements. From this array, I want to filter out even elements. So what are the even elements? 2.
Divided by 2. 4.
4 and 6. These are the even elements. So squaring, you can say square and evens. These are the even elements. So how do you do that? So find even.
Element divided by 2.
Const find even. Find even 1 is equals to this into from this array. I want to find out. So you can write a normal for loop like this. So this approach you can follow.
Okay.
So even const
Where
even, and you can write a forEach ar dot forEach ar dot forEach for each element of this array. Here you can say if, what we need to do, we need to write if condition. So here you can say if EL divide by 2, then what we need to do? Evens dot push EL, correct?
Yes.
And then return evens from this. So console dot log find even 1,
Evens.
and here I can pass ARR. This ARR, right? On this ARR we need to perform this operation.
Yes.
So see here, if EL divided by 2, if EL mod 2,
Yes.
modulo operator, right? And it is given you, just do not. Can you say 2, 4 and 6? Modulo, what is a modulo operator? Can you tell me?
The reminder.
It will give you the reminder.
Getting the reminder.
Yeah. So 2 upon 2 is 2 upon 2, what is a reminder? Correct. And 0 is a false value. 0 is a what? False value. To make it enabled, you can say not true.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
So you have used forEach loop over here. But forEach is, there is a dedicated method for this. Const find even to AR like this, and here you can say AR dot forEach, not forEach now, filter. It will give you new array. Remember that. Const evens is equals to filter this element arrow, element mod 2 and not. Correct? Element mod 2 and not. And return evens. Which thing is better? Filter says that give me the condition over here. Map says that give me the element what to be transformed. So here you are checking condition.
Yes.
If EL mod 2 is 0 or not 0. What you are checking? If EL mod 2 is exactly equals to 0. Technically you are checking this. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes, sir. And
this can be rewritten in this form because it's a falsy. Whatever returns true in the JavaScript, Boolean is also, you can write Boolean as a condition, and 1, 0, undefined, nan, that also can be true and falsy values. So in the JavaScript, anything other than 0 is true. So what it is returning? EL upon 2, EL mod 2, 0 or 1, 0 or some number. Any number, if any number is there, that is true. If it is written 3, if it is written 4, what is that? It is true. Any non-zero is true in the JavaScript. But if it returns 0, it's a false value, and false value is converted over here. So this line and is exactly equals to 0 is one and same. There is no difference, right? There is no difference. This, if you either write this or you write true or falsy like this, that is also same. This is more professional. Any question?
When to use map and filter function and map function.
Okay.
Which is better?
No, it's not like that. So meaning of the map and filter is different. Map means what? You need to convert this element to something else element.
Yes.
You need to convert this element to something else. Presently it's a square. So this element is becoming what? Square. Yes. That is the mapping. This EL would be mapped to the square of the EL. That is what mapping is. Mapping. When you say map, what do you mean by map? What do you mean by map? Converting element to some another form. From its original form is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I want to convert this number to the another number, which is a square of this number. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you agree with me or not?
Yes, sir.
So if such situation is there, when such situation is there, when you want to convert element to some another element, you will use what? Map. And if you want to filter out the array based on some condition, see here, same thing, you have filtered out this ARR. So whatever past array is there, so this ARR becomes this AR. So ARR dot forEach here. So you apply some condition. If this condition happens, then do this thing.
Yes.
So if you want to perform such conditional, if you want to filter out an array based on some condition, then you will use what? Filter function. And here you will give the condition. Agree or not?
Yes, sir. When the apply condition, then use filter.
Correct.
When the transformation, then use map.
Map. Correct. When you want to filter the array, from some array you need to filter out another array. From some array, you need to filter out another array. Then you will use what? Filter. Now I want to check particular element is available inside the array or not. What I wanted to check, if particular element is available or not. How do you check that? There are multiple ways to do this thing. There are multiple ways to do this thing. Now, see, before that, I want to check 9 is there or not. Check 9 is present in array or not. How do you do that? Const. So here I will comment this out. Const check number 1 is equals to AR. You can write a traditional function also, otherwise you will misunderstood that. You need to write like this only. You can write a traditional function also. Function check number. Here we can pass an array AR. So what you need to check? You need to check with every number. This is 9 or not. 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 You need to check with every number, right? So you will write a for loop. You can write any of the for loop, but you can write forEach AR dot forEach and we need to check what we need to check. If element forEach, and here we can say if EL is exactly equals to 9 or whatever given number. So here I can give a number also, this number. So instead of 9 we can write what? This number. Then what we are going to return? So we are going to check with every number, right? And if exactly equals, see, I'm returning what? Return EL exactly equals to what? Num. So it will either return true or it will return what? False. So it will either return true or it will return false. So let's do that. Console.log and here I can say check num1 and I can pass ARR and let's check 8 is there or not. Correct? Clear the screen and here you can say undefined. We are not returning anything. So this will not work, remember that, because this is the return type of this inner function. You getting my point? This is the return type of this, or this is a return statement for this inner function, and your actual function check num is not returning anything. Yes or no?
Yes.
And that's why this will not work. So what we need to do? let is present PR is false, and from here we can say return is present. Correct. So here what we can do is present. So here we can check if EL exactly equals to num, is present is equals to what? True. Present, and break the loop. Break will not work here because you are in a forEach. See here, because there is nothing called as break. Remember that, try to understand. There is nothing called as break. So this function is going to be called multiple times. And that's why this forEach also will not, and that's why we need a separate variable. Well, this forEach will not work for this situation, because consider that I have 9 over here. I have, now see, let's find out 2 is present or not. Okay, let's find out what 2 is present or not in this array. 2 is present or not in this array. So here we can say check num2, run the code, it is present. Can you see that? It is what? Present. It is present. So let's make it 8 and see, it is not present. Yes. But here you have done lot of code, and lot of code always takes you in a trouble. Lot of code will always take you in a trouble, for the reason you need to test the code, and code needs to work for every situation. So whenever you use, or whenever you keep your code lesser, it is always good to test and other things. Now just a minute. Now what we need to do, there are 2 functions available in the JavaScript. Function check num. So here you are checking that some of the elements are, or 9 is present into these elements or not, or you can say some of the elements, or in another words, or some of the elements are 9 or not, some of the elements. And there is a possibility you need to check all of the elements are 9 or not. Everyone should be 9. This might be one condition, correct? Yes. And few of them would be 9. This might be the condition. So JavaScript says that function check num2, this array and this num. See, ar.sum. So element inside this array, so this element is exactly equals to this num. Here you are checking if some of the elements are num, it will return what? True. Console.log true. Now see, let's see this 2 is there or not. means sum of the elements inside this array are 2 or not. Few of the elements should have a value what? 2. Correct? Some of the elements are 2 or
sir,
not.
there is in num1 in
Okay. Yeah. Some of the elements. Okay. Console.log not required now because we are not returning anything from here.
Yes.
Console.log ar.sum el arrow el exactly equals to num means you are checking this el means never forget that this function would be getting called for each and every element. So you are checking this with each and every element. So you are checking that this element is num or not, this element is num or not. So here you are checking, it will return the true if few of them are this number. Few of them should have value equals to this number. Means if inside array 2 is available somewhere, it will return what? 2. It will return what? True. See now. What is that? Clear .js, and can you see it is returning what? True. Some of the elements are having this value. Which value? 2. Means inside this array, few of the elements. So is 1, this is not a 2, but this is a 2. And because of this, it has written what? True. I hope you got my concern, what I mean to say.
Yes.
This 2 is available. So sum means what? Some of the elements should satisfy this condition. Some of the elements. Now we can say console.log ar.all of the elements, not all, every element should satisfy this condition. El is exactly equals to num. So obviously this will return what? True or false?
False.
False. So every element inside array should be this num. So this num is what? 2. So every element is not 2 over here. 1 is not 2, 3 is not 2, 4 is not 2, 5 is not 2, 6 is not 2. So obviously you are going to get what?
False.
False. And for the same condition, sum function will return what? True. Sum every. Sum and what? Every. Can you see? For 1 it is returning true, for second it is returning false.
False, yes.
So let's make everything 2. 2. Okay. Now both will return what? True. True. Because every element in this array is exactly equals to this given num. That is nothing but what? 2. I hope you got the concept.
Yes.
Okay. Now there are few more things related to that. ar.find. Now see, if you want to see, here it is returning what? Or let's write a separate function. Grab number. Grab the number. So here, and this is ar. ar dot find, and here you need to give the condition. See, find is going to return, find this element arrow if element just a minute. So we have find function. Now see, find function, find, and here I can find now see here there are multiple things. Now what I want to do, get the element who is greater than 3. Find the element whose value, find element if greater than 3. So how many elements you expect over here? Greater than or equal to 3. So how many elements do you expect over here? 4 elements, right? We expect how many elements? 4 elements. Four elements, right? But find is going to return only first element who satisfies the condition. EL is greater than or equal to 3. So how many elements it is going to return? Say it loudly. How many element it is going to return? One element, the first one who matches the condition. One element. It returns first element who matches condition. It returns the first element who matches the condition. So console.log num. It matches what? One element. It returns the first element. Remember that here you are going to get 3 elements. Here you are going to get 4 elements, sorry, these many. But it is going to return that element, which is the first element who matches the condition in an array. Now see, grab number ARR. Can you see 3? Because 3 is the first. This is the first. Correct? And what if I want to get all the elements who matches the condition? What should I do?
Not use find function.
Which function then I need to use?
Filter.
Yeah, correct. If you want all the elements who are satisfying the condition,
Yes.
you need to use what? Filter element. Correct. Now, similar to the find. So find is returning what? Exactly number. But I want to get the index of that element who matches this condition. Index of that first element. Index of this first element who matches the condition. Find index is the function. IND. And here you can say clear. Can you see second element is, third is the second element. 0, 1, 2. Index starts from what? Index starts from 0. Correct. So these are the few methods that we have seen. These are few methods we have studied. There are few more methods. Includes. Similarly, includes would be similar to the sum and every. Sum means what? Some of the elements of this should be matching to this num. Every element is matching to this num. In the same fashion, we can have console.log includes. It will return true or false. Console.log ar.includes. Now see, here you don't need a array to be passed. It's a normal function. Here you don't need to be passed as an array. Includes 6. It will return true or false. If 6 is there, true. Otherwise, false.
This is also used for find the element.
Yeah, finding, checking.
Yes.
Not for finding. So sum returns true false. Every returns true false. Includes also returns true false based on this number. Based on this number. Correct?
Yes, sir.
EL exactly equals to num. EL exactly equals to num. So you don't need to pass any condition or any function over here. Simply you can pass the number and it will check that number is available or not. Includes, right? Sum, every, forEach. So we already have seen slice, splice, push, pop, shift, unshift. Push, pop, shift, unshift. What is a push, pop? Can you tell me? What is a push?
Push is used for the add the element at the end.
End. What is a pop?
Remove the element at the end.
Okay. Shift.
Shift is remove the element at the start.
And unshift?
Add the element at the start.
Okay, correct. Array operations. Right? We have seen what? Array operations. Now what I want to do, I want to create a string from this array. I want to create a continuous string. Like array output should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6. Only this much. A continuous string I want to create. So how do you do that? If you want to create the string, you can say const mkstr1. Again, you need an array as a function. Array as a function. So what you will do? Let st is equal to empty string. Then ar.forEach. Hello? Element arrow st plus equals to element, and then you will return this st. And console.log, here you can say make str1. You got this logic, right? You are iterating over the element and just go on appending element to this st.
Yes.
And here if you see, okay, arr need to be passed. We didn't pass array. Can you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
Yes.
But this is the long cut of writing full code.
Yes.
Const mk str2 is equals to this array, and ar dot join ar dot join separator. We don't need to have any separator, just keep undefined or empty. So join each and every element by this separator. Return here, if I say mkstr.2, it will create a string. Remember that.
Yes.
Can you see here again? It will create a string.
Yes.
You can add this separator to be added between each element.
Yes.
Sorry, this separator to be added between each element. See now what will happen? 1 arrow 2, something like this. This is what the separator. But presently I don't need to add any separator, and that's why it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 continuous string. You can see.
Yes.
You got it, right?
Yes, sir.
Join. Which function we have seen?
Join.
Join.
It is create a array to a string.
Array to continuous string. Yeah. It is. Can you see? We didn't provide anything. So as it is string, you are getting as it is. But you are saying that please split it, join it.
Yes.
By not having any word in between. See here. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now one homework you would be having.
Yes, sir.
So I want to make a sum of all the elements. 1 plus 2 plus 3, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. And I want to get total sum of the elements.
Yes, sir.
And you try it on the Monday and explain me what exactly you have done over there.
Yes, sir.
So how do you do that? No, you find out that part. How do you do that?
Addition, arithmetic operation also.
Okay. How do you do that? How you will create? How do you make a sum of all elements?
I'm using.
How do you? What would be the logic?
Array dot I plus array dot I.
Okay, plus array dot I.
Yes.
Right. You may try it. And also I have given one more homework.
Yes, sir.
If you can check into the homeworks list, you need to complete this homework also. And the homework is this: addition of two, create the two matrices, matrix 1, matrix 2. You need to add those two matrices and multiply those two matrices.
Okay.
Addition and the multiplication of the two matrices. So this is a multi-dimensional array, two-dimensional array. You need to see how it works, because I didn't cover this part yet, and deliberately I have given the homework.
Yes, sir.
Deliberately I have given this homework to you.
Yes, sir.
So today is day 32 or what?
Day 33.
33. Okay, let me push this much code. Array
Yes,
operations. One array operation is remaining, and that is dependent on dependent on the homework that I have given.
Yes.
Addition of numbers in array.
Matrix. Yes.
No, not that. This one. Addition of the numbers.
Yes. Yes.
I hope you got the concept what we have seen.
Yes.
I hope you are practicing. Now I'm going to give you a lot of homeworks on the array topic. Once we complete the two-dimensional array or multi-dimensional array, you would be getting a lot of questions on the array. In the interview also, you can expect a lot of questions on the array.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
fine. That's about the today's session.
Yes.
Documentation, we'll do it on the Monday.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Let's call it for a day. If you have any questions,
Yes.
stay back and ask. Otherwise, we are good to wind up the session.
No, sir. It's clear.
Okay, fine.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.